Hey everyone, it is Saturday. Things are a little bit better, a little bit worse than yesterday. I did find one of the items that was missing yesterday, thank goodness. This is a copy of Transformers. I have two copies of this book, but they're slightly different. This one has Optimus down here, the other one I have has Grimlock down there. But they're both blanks, they're both the same Transformers book. But I had this one someplace else. I'm still missing a postcard for whatever reason. I'm missing a whole stack of postcards that I've listed. I've not found those, but I did get my area cleaned up, all my extra oversized cut down box areas cleaned up. I've got my bench cleared off, but unfortunately my walkways are all covered of trying to figure out a place to put these records, because where I wanted to put them, I'm not going to be able to put them there. And I found another place, but it's going to be like in the overhead space up here, which gets really, really hot during the summer. And I'm like, do I really want to put vinyl records up there? Because they could warp. So I'm like, well, if I get that area insulated, it won't get as hot. But then that means I got to get up there and insulate it. And I've got so much stuff up there, so I'm going to have to pull all that stuff out so I can get up there and insulate. So it's like, ugh. Which honestly I need to do. And I should do that before things get too darn hot. So this comic book anyway sold for $13.99. That's why it's a pretty high dollar comic book. So that's why I wanted to kind of find that. You know, it's a little bit of a deeper hit than, you know, losing money on a $7 postcard. We sold a copy of Yes. This sold for $4.37, and apparently I had multiple copies of this, and this is the last copy I have. I guess the Winter Olympics are still going on. I don't know. This is a Winter Olympics pin. Pretty good size from Salt Lake in 2002. This is a limited edition one. There was only 5,000 of this particular pin made, and so it sold for $19.99. I had a buyer contact me asking me if I did combined shipping on stuff, and I said, of course I do. So there's like they were interested in this 45 and this 45, and I let them know, hey, you also get a 10% discount if you buy multiple items. So I told them what to do, and they followed my directions, and they made a proper checkout. So I have two 45s. These are both Beatles. I think these are the last Beatles 45s that I currently have. These are the original pressings on Capitol. Both of these sold for $16.75. I don't know if anybody remembers Dungeons and Dragons, but they actually had a line of action figures. This is by LJN from the early 80s, probably like 83. This is like pre-G.I. Joe, but this is kind of what the G.I. Joe line was made on. His legs are really crazy legs. So I listed this guy as parts or repair, because you can't really repair these very easily like you can G.I. Joes. So he took a while to sell. I think he finally got down to $3.93 before selling. But he was in really bad shape. So I think I found him in the bottom of a toy box that I bought. This is a really cool piece I picked up 2 weeks ago. You see, he's like a horse and cowboy on a pendulum, and he sits on this little stand. These were really popular in the 80s, where people would make wooden ones, but apparently these metal ones were popular in the 40s and 50s. So this guy sold for $74.99 for what I call a pendulum toy. I also have another one that's bigger. It doesn't have a stand, but I think you're meant to to set it on your deck or something like that. Again, a lot of CDs, because I'm listing CDs like crazy right now. Dr. Dre, The Chronic. I knew that was going to sell right away. It sold for $7.59. They got it listed for $8, sent out an offer, and somebody jumped on it. I picked this guy up. This is a guy from Tarzan, the Disney Tarzan's movie. He's supposed to talk, but I don't have no batteries in him right now. I probably paid $1 or $2 for him at the flea market. Probably $1. I don't really try to pay more than $1 on stuffed animals unless I know it's worth a significant amount of money. He sold for $17.99. So I probably had him originally listed at $20. Probably just dropped the price 10% and sold. So I would say, yeah, because it says I had him back, back in May, whenever I was tracking all that information. Another copy of Fleetwood Mac's Rumors sold. This one got a little bit of water damage. Hopefully they don't complain. Sold for $5.99. A DVD sold. This one is sealed. I got a bunch more horror DVDs in. Probably about another 200 horror DVDs in for free that are all factory sealed, but they're not good quality ones. They're just a lot of budget title ones. So it should be interesting. So this sold for $19.99. And I love getting these little mini root beer mugs. This is Frost Stop. We never had a Frost Stop where I grew up. I'm not familiar. Can't remember where this is at. I guess I could probably see where the buyer's from, and that probably, because a lot of times these stuffs go back to the people that grew up with that stuff. This buyer is located here in Florida, so maybe this is a local Florida. But it sold for $14.49. And two more items here to get out. Hard to find country songs, or hard to find hits country. This is another one of those Time Life. I'll tell you, Time Life, they sell very well for me. This sold for $5.99. And last is this model kit. This is a British model of a Avro Vulcan. This was the color scheme for the Falkland Islands Wars. This came, I think I paid $10 for that model, and it sold for $44.99. So that's everything I got to get packed up. So keep hustling, everyone.